double bonus points, which I made use of the other day before Standing Stone fixed something. They fixed it between a cord stream and not too long into my stream yesterday on the official channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're gonna do something fun tonight. We're not playing this character. I was on the game earlier today getting ready for the Weatherstock Contra series on the hill above Bag End starting next Friday. However, we're not playing Phoenixa today. We're gonna be playing Quicksilver. I just love Quicksilver. There's like right here. So, here's what's gonna happen. I realized that out of all of my top high-level characters, not a blessed one of them was a dwarf. I have only 2 high-level, i.e. 140 plus characters who are short, and those are hobbits. I do not have a single dwarf character of any kind at basically Umbar. So that's the goal here, is to get Quicksilver ready for Umbar. However, I also want to do the Black Book of Mordor on this character. I hate actually going back and finding out how much of the Black Book I need to do. So that's what we're going to do with this character. And we're also going to see how much there's a contribution to the ally reward track. Because if there's a case where the ally reward track is not getting any juice out of doing this, then I'm going to, probably not tonight, but next stream or whatever, switch to a different character, like the Runekeeper that I've been playing with. But this is a champion currently wearing elf gear. This is definitely an elf friend dwarf. And her name is Quicksilver. And she was, until just a couple days ago, actually probably yesterday, she was my housing storage character, and now she's not. I have a lower level, a level 32 dwarf captain, a Stout-axe captain, who is now the keeper of the housing crap, so there is that. In the meantime, we're gonna log in and see what's what. Hobbit presents are still ongoing because they need to patch the game next week to take care of that, and I do know it's coming. I mean, we all know that it's coming. It's a thing. Alright, so this character needs to start doing stuff in Udun. One thing I do want to double check though is I want to check my quests on this character, the ones that are completed, because I need to know if this character has completed the Black Gate. I don't think she has. Okay, we have done Shades in the Swamp. But we haven't begun the we haven't, started the Black Book of Mordor at the very beginning, which we do need to do. Okay, so this character did do The Eagles Are Coming. One quest I need to look for, though. Oh, the quest afterwards. Okay, did the Black Gate, blah blah blah. Then we did the Black Gate. Okay, so this was the Ring of Power. Eagles are coming, Eagles are coming. Okay, so we did on the Field of Victory. Frodo and the Ring of Power. And our next adventure. And we were sent to do the things. Okay. we'll find out if I try to actually go to the Black Gate and get killed when I do some of the quests. So let's go defeat foes in Udun. And to get to Mordor, we're gonna cheat and use our Mordor. As soon as my character actually stops lagging, there we go. Okay, I'm still lagging a little bit. There we go. Oh, this character has not opened up the whimsical, or at least turned it on. I'm not gonna worry about it. Alright. We should be able to go where we need to go from here. Yeah, Udun controlled. Alright. Now I understand that the Black Book has like a huge pile of things to be doing, so basically Quicksilver has come home. Again, we're not gonna do any side questing, we're just gonna do the actual epic. Because I want to zoom through the Black Book of Mordor as best I can. We're gonna ignore this quest. Rude. I mean, I could just start where I left off. Which is in Mordor Besieged. I kind of want to kind of go back and get all the stuff. So we'll see. If this quest does not give me, doesn't give me any LIXP, we'll rethink it and probably start where we need to go. Alright, we got our 8 foes. And this is a yellow line champion, so that's a little bit unusual. I'm not used to playing yellow line. That's what you're doing for the Forges of Mornower. We're gonna get lost in Durthang in a little bit. Hope everybody's having a decent weekend. Next weekend we're going to be doing something special. I'll be streaming all day next week. I'm going to beat up this guy and see if I can. Because, you know, he's a little spicy. Well, you can be a little spicy if you're under level, but I'm not under level. There we go. Easy peasy. Okay, so it did tell me when I kicked that guy's ass that progress has been added to the LI reward track. But he was green to me, so I don't know if a gray quest will be this. Because one thing I really don't like is not having the Black Locomotor completed.
How fared you on the journey into
We're gonna cause a mess, bud. I'm not doing the new forged weapons. We're here for the things. I'm gonna pick up the page. That's one of the other things as I try.
Sauron returned, and once again the forges blazed. Great stockpiles of orc arms were smithied, but the old alloys and dark enchantments were remembered too.
That's the voice of Brandon McInnes, the dude who also did the voice of Frodo in the End of the Ring sequence. We're ignoring all the shiny chests because I don't need the crafting mats. I don't know how knocking them over makes them difficult to use, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Well done, my friend.
Kill more bad guys. Easy enough. Let's see if this guy should count as a foe. Yeah, he is. Gonna kill one of my own people here. Two of my own people. Not gonna worry anything about crafting. This character is made to level and to get ready to get into Umbar content. So I do have a lot to do on this character. I was also thinking about getting back on the horse of the catch-up completionist with my main, since we're kind of in a bit of a lull until the next expansion. Now, I don't think the next expansion is going to have a level cap increase. They tend not to do them every single expansion. So while I have been getting various characters to level cap, I don't really need to. I don't perceive there to be a rush to do so. And honestly, I think if they did a level cap increase, the high-end raiders would just be pissed off, so... I was like, we just had a level cap increase, stop doing it. Also, I should point out, probably Saturday, so I'll be streaming next week, all day long for the Weatherstock concert series. And on the 27th, I'll be streaming Weatherstock itself. However, on the 20th, I'm not going to be streaming because I'm going up to Columbus, I believe. I haven't actually got the ticket ready for it yet. But the goal is to go up to Columbus to GalaxyCon and Animate Columbus, I think is the actual convention name. And I'm going to go and chat with voice actor Josh Keaton, who is an acquaintance, and I'm one of his Twitch moderators and his Discord moderators. So since I heard he was coming up to Columbus, I figured, you know what, I can drive up to Columbus, go say hi to Josh, go hang out. I need to talk to him and see if he wants to make any plans other than, hey, this is the dude. You know, 'cause it's kind of expensive to go to a convention, especially on a Saturday. Saturday is the expensive day.
Did you find the orcs in Trove as I saw from the height?
Alright, talk to Anoth. Anoth. Who, yeah. Poor Anoth. Oh, he's back. Should I kick him again? So I am getting some rewards on the thing. I just don't think I'm getting as many as I could be getting if I were doing quests on level. So we'll take a look at it and see where we are. We're like a smidge. So we'll take a look at it again once I get to the next notice in chat that says, hey, you got the thing.
Careful, friend. I have already drawn the ire of the orcs. I will tell you the tale. My tale begins more than 1,000 years ago, when the watch on Mordor had already begun to fail.
And of course this place will be familiar, because in a much future chapter of the story we'll be here in another flashback. Many years down the line. I notice his shield. Looks really cool. I notice his shield, which is pretty much the same shield but weathered and aged and broken, and held together by some weird ass leather straps. So I really do like how they made the two shields. Alright, in Gondor today he's known as by another name, the Survivor. So this is the time of King Earnil. Distasteful rumors. Cannibalism! Grim and Southern. Oh, there's another Nazgul. I don't see the other Nazgul. Trixie. He's Trixie, don't trust him. A new captain rules the pit. Ironically, Ugakor's outfit is the one you get for the Ultimate Edition of Mordor, if you were able to buy it when they still sold it with the goodies. Now we're back.
And so it was that only one of the Thondream came alive out of Mordor that day.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter what we choose.
Uglukor betrayed the Thondream more than 1,000 years ago. But my heart tells me that he lives still.
Did I actually pick the wrong one? Nope, I picked the right one, but it doesn't matter because there's nothing that's going to be good enough for me until after I get to 1 in the 120s. So, we're going to try to blaze through Mordor as fast as we can. We're not going to do the side quests in Durthang. Not gonna do them. No sorcerer's baubles for us if we don't have to get them. I think that is a side quest, but we'll see. I will stop and get like rare Mordor chests and shit because there's a deed for that. Free Lotro points and never hurt nobody. Okay, where's the rare chest? It's up here on the overlook. Isn't it? Isn't it? I thought there's a up there it is. There's a treasure cache here. I don't think. Oh, there's a rare chest here. Might be at the top of their thing. Alright, never mind. Again, we're not doing side quests. We're going in to find the things. There's another page over here, though. We'll pick that up. Holly! Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well.
There he commanded Duathand, the Black Shield, be built as an ever-vigilant watchtower of Gondor. For 16 centuries, the Thandrim, its keepers, dwelt here.
Let's go murder some orcs. Again, we're not doing side quests. Open the cell doors in the basement, they said. Now I just have to remember how to get to the basement. Well, the good news is I don't have to fight everything on the way there. We're gonna go rescue Eorzin. I'm gonna try cells that actually have living prisoners. There we go, here's our buddy. And I'll gonna be pissed. Lingers. Ooh, we don't want to go there. We need to go this way to the northeast, he said. Not doing the sorcerer's baubles. No. Denied. Darthang is a lot easier to deal with if you're not having to do all the little side quests, for sure. So one of the things I did to prepare this character is I took her to Rohan last night and spent some time. I did the quest of Langhold. Where's Anoth? Oh, he's down on the next level. To get her a bridle for her horse.
Iorzen fled, and I could not catch him. I do not know why.
Find the
Iorzen
eyes
was
and
in
mouth.
prison, but we need to track him.
Eyes and mouth. It's actually been a pretty restful 3 days off. And I'm not even sure why. There hasn't been anything really different about these 3 days off than any other 3-day weekend that I normally have. I think maybe it has something to do with the fact that I went to the store on Wednesday evening after work rather than Thursday morning before streaming. So I started streaming on Thursday on time, because I never do that anymore. And I thought that was a little bit strange. Oh, I said I was going to check and see what the Ally reward track. So yeah, the Ally reward track seems to be progressing like normal, question mark, for just doing the normal quest. So catching this character up through the older bits of the Black Book of Mordor, the first bits, sounds like a good plan. And I'm going to pick up the pages when I see them, but I'm not going to go out of my way to get any of these.
Here would be the parade ground of his orcish hordes, and the great
For the
forge
horde.
works for their weapons and armor.
Been wanting to play other games, but I've been mostly playing Lotro more often than anything. Well, okay. In terms of the two games that I stream, Lotro and DDO, and then World of Warcraft is still doing remix, but I'm winding down on what I'm going to be doing for WoW Remix. So pretty soon I won't feel the need to do that. On the other hand, because of Remix and then Plunderstorm previous to that, I pretty much haven't been doing anything with proper retail WoW, and I really am behind on that. However, I do want to take a little bit of downtime before I burn out on playing the damn game, because the WoW pre-patch is probably going to start up at the end of the month here. So I figure if I can really put some effort into it right now, like this upcoming week, I can grind through what I need to grind through for WoW Remix, get that done, and then I can go back and just be done with things. And then I can have a few weeks to just play other games. Like, I actually want to play Ark, because Ark is doing Summer Bash, which is like my favorite holiday in Ark. The problem with Summer Bash right now is, because of the Ark remaster that's going on right now, like, the maps that I would want to play Summer Bash on aren't honestly, the maps that I'm playing aren't a lot of fun. Because I started playing Ark when they were starting to do some of the free DLCs. I mean, the first Ark map I played was Crystal Isles, which still...
Udun was yielded quickly, heedlessly, after our victory in the War of the Last Alliance, as the Dark Host fled back to make its ultimately doomed stand at Barad-dûr.
Basically, Horse butt. Right now, the remaster of Ark only has 3 maps on it. It has the OG, the island. It has Scorched Earth. And honestly, the only reason I wanted to play Scorched Earth is because they had phoenixes on it. Surprise. And now they have a newer one called The Center. And
Did Eorzen come this way?
No. And those are not really fun for me, right? I mean, they're interesting, but part of the thing I like about Crystal Isles in later maps is simply because they have more critters that you can play with. And honestly, I love the Crystal Wyverns from Crystal Isles. They're smaller than the Wyverns you can find on earlier maps, but I don't know. And one thing I really do like about the remaster Ark is the simple fact that you can turn on and turn off holidays just by activating the appropriate mod. You want to do Raptor Claws? I mean, they have to, basically the way they're doing it is they're releasing the mods like when they're supposed to come out normally during the year, but then once the mod has been released, and they started with Winter Wonderland, so once the mod is released, then you can just activate it whenever the hell you want to, because holidays are now just modifications that you can just turn on and turn off at will. On an unofficial server, if you're the person who runs the server, or if you're running a single player game. Which is what I've been doing. I haven't been playing on anybody's Ark server. I started playing on my friend Morgan's Scorched Earth one, but I don't really like the Scorched Earth map very much. I mean, it's okay, but the whole living in a desert and fighting the whole desert trying to kill you kind of thing, yeah, not my jam.
Do you rejoice to pursue a man who has done nothing?
You don't believe his sad story, do you?
Alright, we're gonna go talk to Mithrandir. This is actually one of the cool bits of the epic quest of the Black Book of Mordor. Is each class has its own corrupted heirloom and its own quest to deal with the corrupted heirloom. And then we get to go talk to Elrond. I do believe, if I recall correctly, the champion does. And we get to hear about Elrond sighing about his sire Eärendil. And I think the first time I played through this in 2017 is the first time that I realized, oh shit, Eärendil is actually Elrond's dad. I mean, everybody knew he was, but it didn't really sink in to like, oh yeah, my dad the star. Kind of like that old TV show, My Mother's a Car. Somebody else's question here. I don't want to mess with anybody else questing. I'm just going to get through my stuff as quickly as possible and move on. I mean, I could just use Mithril Coin to jump all over the place and complete quests, but it's not fun to me. It's not fun at all. So this character was originally Valard. So she's got the level 120 Valar gear on her. I was originally thinking about doing this with a Stout-axe captain.
We believe it was in the Second Age, after Sauron came to Mordor, that he set to work building an army to make war against the kingdoms of men and elves.
I do like the difference of story between Lotro and things like Rings of Power. I'm actually really looking forward to the new Rings of Power season coming up at the end of August. It'll be fun, I think. The trailers they've done so far, they haven't really done a lot of things, but I have a feeling they're going to be at San Diego Comic-Con. I know Corey is going to San Diego Comic-Con. But I do recall 2 years ago him getting teased by one of the showrunners who was on stage in Hall H, and then getting teased by Stephen Colbert, who is Corey's biggest and most famous fan.
Over 7 years later, after siege, strife, and victory, did Isildur return as king and conqueror to the Vale of Udun.
Now this will tell me if I actually completed the walk through Mordor. I'm pretty sure I did on this character, but I have that little feeling of maybe I didn't kind of deal. Maybe I didn't. We'll find out if I die. No, I would have died by now. So I must have done it, you know. Because it's not suddenly the gates are closed or anything like that, so it's fine.
What is this talk of prisoners? You have brought an Easterling out of Mordor? The air in Udun is filled with choking fumes and unhealthy vapors.
Yeah, we're still halfway decently here. And I haven't claimed anything on this season's reward track, but the goal is to get to the hundreds, so I can get all things. So my short-term goal, of course, is 75, so I can get the Umbar decorations. One thing you can also do, if you haven't done it yet, you're gonna have an easier time of it. But now that I'm remembering, let's go set these up. Interestingly, I can't join the ones for somebody's setting off fireworks outside. What you up to, Holly? Hope you're doing okay. Hope you've been having a decent weekend. I'd made a special meal. I had steak Thursday night for my special meal. And then yesterday I made a rack of barbecue ribs. However, there were so many ribs in that rack that I saved half of them and ate them today. I tried something a little bit unusual. I have some Chicago steak rub, steak seasoning, and it says on there on the label that it's also useful for pork. So I tried it on. These are pork ribs, and then I put barbecue sauce on it afterwards, and it was an interesting combination. I'm not sure I would try it again though, because it kind of drowned out the barbecue sauce. I might try like honey or something the next time I do barbecue sauce. Make it even sweeter. A little bit of honey. Oh my god, it's so dark in Mordor. One thing I know about Mordor, and this is something that Standing Stone has talked about a few times, in terms of where they take the story. They have talked a few times about how they have deliberately made the choice of having us go to Mordor, a dark and gloomy and depressing place, and then take us someplace. Okay, Northern Mirkwood is not exactly not gloomy, but going to Felagoth, going to Lake Town, going to Logeland, going to Erebor, and the lands of, you know, northern Mirkwood and the lake area is definitely a change of pace, and you need that pause on darkness and gloom and just these oppressive atmospheres. And so I understand why they did it, and it makes a lot of sense. So it's kind of like Umbar. Right now, the current is Umbar down in the basement, and it can be kind of creepy, kind of oppressive. Lots of bad guys. Very easy to get lost down there. And so I expect the expansion is going to take us out of the city, which will be very nice because the city is a freaking trap for your... It's just very difficult. On my frame rate. Let's back up here. Beep, 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 beep. Anybody else? You, Brambeth, would you like something to drink? Life doesn't care. Where's the other dude? The other dude's over here. Reindeer. Reindeer. Okay. Now we can talk to Blythe. To Blythe. So tomorrow I'm probably gonna
What have you done? You have stopped my men from their tasks!
Yes, I have. I'm gonna go beat up orcs down below to make you feel better about it. How about that? Sounds like fun. Hello, little orcs. Where are you? Hello, little orcs. Is anybody home? Again, we're not doing side quests. No side quests. This is kind of like when Corey is running his Wiggin character through things. Though he does like to keep Wiggin doing quests that's going to give him XP. Alright, you count as an orc? You do. Alright. The only reason to do the side quest would be for the additional XP or LI reward track stuff, but I kind of just don't want to bother with those. I just want to get through the epic as quick as possible. Move on to better areas. Not stop for last alliance artifacts. Not stop for any. Oh my god, it's spiders! Oi, come here. Here, orky, orky, orky. I'll take this smudge page though.
Deep in Anglach, with great works and dark sorceries, Grond, the fearsome battering ram which broke the gates of Minas Tirith, was forged.
Oh, it's actually his birthday today now that I'm thinking about it. I think Brandon did say it was his birthday today. Isn't it? Hold up. Let me go look. No, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, Brandon McInnes. He's hosting Anime Expo this week. Thought he said it was his birthday today. He did say it's his birthday today. So happy birthday, voice of Frodo, and dude, what is doing this voice right now? Yeah. It is his birthday. So it's appropriate that I'm playing content on his birthday that he did. How what timing that is. I appreciate that. So, I do have a funny story about his involvement with Lotro. You may not be aware of it, but one of the things about how voice actors are approached for jobs and what they know, they all sign NDAs when they're recording stuff for, you know, companies such as this one. And so there's a lot of times you're going to have a voice actor not be aware of when something they did was released. And because they have NDAs and they're, you know, they're very, most of them are very scrupulous about honoring those NDAs. They're not necessarily going to know until like the game company announces something like that. And so I had the privilege of playing through the beginning stages of Mordor and the end of the ring and Frodo's, you know, the session play with Frodo. And Cordovan is the one who mentioned in chat that it was Brandon McInnes who was their voice of Frodo. Because he's not one of the regular voice actors who works on the game.
This is all you found?
Yep. Sorry. And I remember tweeting at him, not Cordovan, but this voice actor, saying, "Oh my God, your role as Frodo is, oh my God." I was just, being fangirl. Being encouraging. He's like, "Man, I really love this, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I guess I can talk about this now." And so that was kind of cool that I was the one who unwittingly let him know that he was now allowed to talk about this, that he had been the voice of Frodo. And he also, I don't say I hang out with voice actors, but I know or listen to so many voice actors across many of the roles that I could hear that that he is the one who did the Lost Lore of Gorgoroth Udun. There are certain intonations that you can kind of hear. Oh, my life isn't that cool. My sister's life is way more cool than mine is. She actually is in the game industry. And she's well respected and well loved by many gamers and also by many developers that she's worked with in the past. So her current gig is she's the director of communications for Catan, working for Asmodee. So she's cool. She used to also work, not at Daybreak, but at Sony Online Entertainment for a little while. She had a contract working on the community management team under the aegis of the amazing, the legendary Linda Carlson, aka Brass the Dwarf, who actually has some ties to Lotro in that as a fan, long time ago, when Lotro first came out, she's an artist and a crafter and a goat farmer. Not kidding. She used to bring baby goats to the office. She used to make these really super intricate and extremely helpful maps of places in Middle-earth in the Shadows of Angmar era. I think she started doing stuff in the Moria time frame when Moria first came out, but that's when she actually got employed and had to stop playing all the damn time like the rest of us. Okay, I need not this moth around here, but the one out here. And she's awesome too. She now works for a company called Arise Gaming, and she's legendary in her own right. But I'm just some random ass person. See, if you hadn't done the opening of the gates, you wouldn't be able to do this quest. Unless you went around, you have to like go to Osgiliath and do the wastes and whatnot. And I
To
think
linger so
actually
near
you'd
to
still
unlock
also
is
get killed here because
unwise.
it'd be too close. Alright, treasure seekers are stupid, we knew this. Eorzin?
He fancies himself a wizard, does he? Eorzin knows about wizards.
Yeah.
He is impudent, and he is impolite, and he is abrasive. Mordor has been closed to the eyes of Gondor for more than 1,000 years.
I have considered making a place in Gondor for the Nunhoff. But does Eorzin
It's gonna be
have
very.
the same treatment?
I am 1000% sure.
What's that? Another fellow needs passage back to the city.
1000% sure that we're going to see him again. Much like Professor Tolkien himself, Chris Pearson and Maid of Lions do not leave things forever. They write plot hooks that they can
What
just
is it?
pick up later. So I fully, just kind of like J-Jax in, you know, King's Gondor leading into Umbar, we all knew that was going to happen because Maid of Lions knows that we would have, you know, rioted in the streets if we were playing with Corsairs and didn't get to hang out with J-Jax for 5 seconds. Because we were expecting it. And so this one is when we get to where he eventually scampers off to. We're gonna catch up with him at some point and pick up his story somewhere. So, because of that,
He was the mouth of Sauron. Vile knights rode at his command.
yeah, the mouth is sad.
Ulkor knows no mercy. He delights in death.
You should not speak of all that.
Okay, I'm speeding through this a little bit. I'm sorry.
Do you see? Sauron may be gone, but his servants were many. Do
I'll
you
hush you.
see? Sauron may be gone, but his servants were many.
Frederick the Elder in Oscar-Ruth. So this is the heirloom. And I'm gonna tell another story because this is actually really funny as well. But let's talk about Eorzin, an Easterling, who fled at one point. So he is the expected person we're gonna run into when we go to the east. I expect to run into him at some point. Maybe even if we go to Nearhard or go to Cand. Even though he's Easterling, which I would expect him to be from Rune at some point. But we can see him as early as Harad or Khand, I'm thinking. Anyhow. He's the expected one, right? Just like in Umbar, we had the expected J-Jax. But what we got in Umbar were unexpected friends in the form of a certain trio we adventured with in Rohan. All three of them either for real or not for real, depending on the fate of one of them. And that's really... that's where we really need to think about. Is who, besides the obvious red herring, Eorzin the red herring, could we get to visit when we're talking about going to Harad, going to Cand? Who else can we expect? Whose story, who's been off camera for so long that we would be happy to see them. Something to think about. Alright. But the other fun story is we're supposed to go to Oscaruth to talk to Frederick the Elder. Now, the reason the name Frederick is funny to me is because in might have been 2018. I don't actually remember when it happened. I could go look. I'm actually gonna go look real quick. Archived. So, back in the day, it was 2019, okay? So, in summer of 2019, or in spring and summer, Cordovan approached me and asked me to reach out to Corey, Professor Corey, to see if Corey wanted to play some of the One Ring tabletop, because Cord had the set and he wanted to play. Corey, of course, didn't have the time. But I'm actually going to cheat and use my swift travel to the house. He put me in touch with a Signum then student, now graduate, Richard Rowland, who is a German philologist. So basically he means he's a language person. And so we set up a short 6-session campaign of the One Ring. Come on, you. Come on. Let's go. And so Cordovan wound up playing a Bjorning. What was really cool is both Richard Rowland would do various voices. He would also do, because he was a German philologist, he could speak Anglo-Saxon. There was a lot of saga speak, you know, like hearing somebody read Icelandic sagas and Anglo-Saxon sagas and medieval, you know, things like that. He had that kind of voice.
What can I do for you?
We're gonna go to Southbury to go to Oscaruth. Short version of the story, since we're about to get to Oscaruth here in just a second. Cordovan chose the name of Frederick, spelled exactly the same way as the Bjorning in the game, or the dude at Oscaruth.
How can I be of service?
Hi. Don't tell me I can't get to Oscaruth from here. Oh, I did unlock it at some point. Phew, that'd have been embarrassing. So, Frederick the Elder from Oscaruth. And I don't think that Cordovan did it deliberately. Like, oh, I'm gonna make a name out of an NPC from the game. I don't think he actually did that on purpose. And that was 5 years ago. Jeez, oh Pete. You know where I'm gonna be in a couple weeks' time? Some certain mountain up there. That's on the 27th. Weatherstock is coming. Oh my goodness. Hi. I'm actually gonna pick this up.
Would you do something for me?
So I can just stick it in my list of quests I'm gonna deal with at some point.
What can I do for you?
Alright, let's go talk to the dudes down this way. So I thought it was funny realizing that Cord picked a name unwittingly copying the name of an NPC in Lotro. It was funny. Alright. let's go get the next one. Bog lurkers. I'm have no opinion yet on the lore master changes they've been proposing. I think there's been too many people griping about it and just throwing up too much. I'm just gonna wait and see what I'm gonna wait and see what the changes eventually wind up being, because I don't know enough about how all the things work to toss an opinion on it that's gonna actually change anything. So I'm just gonna wait and see what it is and adjust if I need to. I mean, redo, because I'm kind of used to it. Classes changing a lot. Happens all the time in WoW, actually. Like, every expansion they make some pretty major changes to most of the classes in some fashion or other, and I always have to redo my traits anyway, so it's like, okay, whatevs. So I can't really be too fussed about it. I know there's a lot of people who have very strong opinions about it, very deep knowledge about what they enjoy and what they don't enjoy about the class, and how this can affect their raid performance, etc. And I don't discount that in the slightest. It just doesn't affect me. And that's really something. I'm not telling people, oh, you shouldn't be concerned about this. I mean, if you feel you need to be concerned, go for it. I don't care. Yeah, no skin off my nose. But I don't ever play at the sort of level where those sorts of massive changes ever really have much bearing on what I'm doing. I'm almost always going to be able to play the class to some extent, because I don't play at the sort of level where like, I don't min-max. Don't bother with min-maxing. So I'm never performing at the thing where a single percentage is going to completely throw off my game or something. It's going to make it so that I can't, that my class is no longer, my spec is no longer viable. So I'm just going to wait and see what happens, change the spec to be whatever, and get on with my day.
What do you need?
And I think most people are kind
Your
of
efforts
like,
to cleanse the evils from the corrupted carving have led you to the Spring of the Red Maid.
are kind of in that same boat. Most of us, it doesn't really apply to. It's more of an inconvenience to, learn a new rotation than it is to, oh my god, I need to redo my LIs, and oh my god, I need to do this, whatever. Being over level definitely helps with this, for sure. Hi. Interesting, the root hour symbol is here. And interesting that it's pointing this way to the northwest. wonder what's northwest of here. This is the shade of Darathild. So the northwest of here. I mean, it could be headed for, you know, Garthagarwen. By the way, I do like the new Lone Lands map. It's so nice. But what else is northwest of here? So we are over here. Looking northwest. Fornost is that away. Angmar is due north, so that doesn't count. Interesting. Alright, nice lady. What you got? The mighty champion who faced the Red Maid in defense of the people. Yeah. We got you something. This is a gift from your love. Oh. Your Bemwin. Aww. Apu with the resub. Hello, welcome back. We're doing some shenanigans. Aww. Bring the image of the champion to Elrond and Rivendell. Okay. Let's go. Oh, we're gonna take me straight to Rivendell? Sweet. It's better than getting my ass kicked by a ring wraith at the Fort of Bruinen. That happened. On Mordor.
You will need the aid of a light that can pierce the darkness.
Okay. In its pond beside him, artifacts soundlessly from it and pools like water in the basement. In the basin. In the light of Earendil, your dad, holding a Silmaril, you will be able to walk where the shadows lie and overcome them. Yes.
Earendil was a mariner.
Braved storm and roaring wave, he bore shining light out of the darkness. Through sadness and woe, pressing the wastes of sorrow, and braving the winds of wrath to bring hope from afar, and travels still not upon its errand. Not upon the seas of the world, but those of heaven, the light of the summer on his brow showing the way. Aww, remembering your dad. For all the Eldar, the light of your Endil's star is counted most precious. It is a sign of hope for all who labor against the great enemy, or the multitude of his servants. For me it is something more. Earendil was a mariner who tarried in Arvernian, but he was also my sire. When I looked at the stars, I remember much that has now gone beyond the circles of the world, and the joy of memory is tinged with the sorrow of loss. I give you this gift so that you may bear the light of Earendil with you, and be shining light in the darkness. And now we get to go all the way back to Mithrandir. So, we're gonna cheat to get back to Mithrandir. I really need to unlock the Magashtu portal, but since I could just go to my house and use the Mordor, might as well just use the Mordor. I'll wind up in Dingarth. It's free! Okay. And of course, this being a Stout-axe, Mordor used to be home. Hope you've been having a decent weekend. I don't know if it's a holiday for you or not, Apu. If it has been a holiday, I hope it's been a good holiday weekend. If it's not been a holiday, I hope it's been a cool weekend, a fun weekend. Not you. You. I mean, I could go to Bahar, you know, Umbar-level, but I don't want to. Not in nuclear. I mean, I can go as a 123. No big deal. We actually summoned Corey's level 124 weekend, I think, is 124, to Umbar so he could take a tour at when he was at Mythmoot. And that was actually broadcast on the Signum channel. The rest of the Mythmoot recordings are, of course, for the attendees only. That's our general rule, is you gotta pay to watch your stuff. But we do have free content available at Signum University. Like Corey's exploring Lord of the Rings classes Tuesday nights. He's gonna be doing one this upcoming week. He didn't do one this week because he's been away. And I do know he's skipping another couple weeks this month, but I don't remember which ones they are. It is really cool having Corey for my second boss. I have a day job and then I work for Signum on the side. But we're gonna have fun. We got our next moot is not happening until the end of August. And then we've got moots pretty much going on the rest of the year. And of course we got Rings and Realms, which is the scholarly analysis and discussion about the Rings of Power stuff. Because I know there's a lot of people who have a lot of strong opinions about Rings of Power. But I like how they discuss the show from the perspective of, okay, so they did X in the show. Where can we see where they got that from the show? It's a hell of a lot more interesting to me than, oh my god, they screwed this up, this isn't right.
The light of Eärendil will serve you well within Gorgoroth. Enemies still hold the channel between Udun and Dor Amarth.
Travel to the Eisenmouth. Well, we're gonna go travel to the Eisenmouth. We'll just go this way. We're just gonna ride through Udun on our horse named Moonsilver. It'll be fun. I mean, I could take the stable from Udun to Dingarth and ride back, but that's no fun. And one of my current projects is before the end, before Rings and Realms comes back, and indeed soon, probably sometime before the end of the month, and maybe early into August, I will be helping to update the Signum Studios website to acknowledge Rings and Realms Season 2. Right now we just got a basic splash page up for it. And I was gonna spend today, this afternoon, actually, you know, looking over the current website, seeing what we have, seeing what we need, because I have a whole whole sheaf of notes from Dr. Maggie Park about it, what she wants the site to be, and I'm like, I gotta work on this. Because that's part of my job with Signum University is not only am I the digital moot facilitator, which means I get to attend every single moot, which is actually quite fun. It's a lot of work too, especially for like Osmoot, because the time is so offset from my normal time. And Mythmoot, of course, being a 3-day affair. Osmoot was a 3-day affair. The upcoming Ranger Moot, which is going to be local to me, here in Cincinnati, is going to be held at a Boy Scout camp. And I really need to work with our regional Moot coordinator, Adam, to schedule it so it makes sense. Because one of the things about having a moot at a Boy Scout camp is people are gonna be all over the damn place. There's gonna be like archery, there's gonna be canoeing, there's gonna be outdoorsy activities, people are gonna be fucking camping. But we're still gonna do a traditional virtual moot, but what I think is going to be best, and this is just my thoughts on it, is it's gonna be 3 days. But I think there's only gonna be the time for maybe 2 of those days. Because basically, I think the way Corey is thinking about it is having it to where, well, there's people gonna be doing stuff that can be done online, and whoever's working, it's like, I don't want to be stuck inside all weekend long. I mean, yeah, I do like air conditioning, but when we're, having all this time to, do these reenactments of various events, because there's a freaking castle on this site. There's an actual palisade, I guess, an actual castle. I don't know. I haven't actually seen, one of the things I have to do between now and late September is go on site and actually take a tour and review the place and see what it looks like and see how it can, we have a ton of pictures. From the website and whatnot, but we still need finally get to move to Dora Mars. But there's still stuff that we need to do, right? Still plenty of things we need to do. Hello, Brongos, there you are. Hi.
Welcome to the Doomfold of Dor Armath.
Alright, we're gonna go kill things. Is that just a critter? Yeah. Somebody's shooting fireworks off to the south of my house. So, one of the things I don't want there to be is I don't want there to be virtual content scattered out throughout the 3 days. I also don't want there to be like 3 days worth of virtual content. I mean, well, if we do 3 days of virtual content, then okay. But that means since I would be the one running that virtual content, I wouldn't be able to do anything outside. Which would kind of suck. I could stay home in my own air-conditioned office to do all that. So, I think we need to have some serious meetings on what we're going to do, but I need to get on site to take a look at it. And I think we were originally thinking about doing that next week, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be busy next week. Sorry. So it can't be it can't be this month, basically.
Can it be that this land was once much like any other?
Oh, Cobadil. So, I'll have to figure out a time. Because next Saturday is Weatherstock Concert Series. The following Saturday, the 20th, I will actually be going up to Columbus. And the following Saturday is Weatherstock, which I'm streaming. The following Saturday after that, I expect to be in Indianapolis for Gen Con. Working for my sister's company, in fact, as a contractor. We're going for another company who's contracted to Asmodee to basically help run the Catan booth. hear lots of fireworks outside. How are we doing on the ally reward track? Well, we're not getting a lot of ally reward track XP, not gonna lie. We're still getting some, so that's helpful. Teach the young ones. Hey, look, there's my people. I honestly don't know what it's like doing the Mordor quests as a Stout-axe. Because part of the Mordor quest has you rescuing the Stout-axes. We're not gonna find out on this character either. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, there's a lot more I was supposed to do today, and I honestly was so tired. I didn't set an alarm and slept till like 1 o'clock almost, or actually almost at 1:30. Hi, Cobodil.
Will you look at that? That is the Spire of Lurash.
Lurash. Alright, I think one of the ash pals is up by the door. Actually, two of them are.
Then Turun and Harad Sauron roamed, gifting 6 of the 9 rings to kings and chieftains, yoking peoples and armies under his command. 7 to dwarf lords in their hidden halls.
So we know the modern names of all of the 9. Or the Gloom of Nirn and whatnot. So we know where they all are. We don't know where the Witch King is from specifically, but I think the common thought is that the Witch King is actually just the Black Numenorian, so from Numenor. And you have to roll your tongue when you say Numenor. Like saying Mordor. Hashtag blame Peter Jackson. Hashtag blame Rings of Power. I've been thinking about doing a silly Quests of the Shire stream with a character dancing around with the whimsical emote effective. But no riding. You have to... Yep. Well, to be fair, I'm not making Weatherstock happen. I'm just simply streaming it, so... I would say Bjorbrand is one of the primary movers and shakers of Weatherstock actually happening. Not me. I just get to show up and stream it. But I'm gonna go shake down Cordovan next week to see if I can get some codes out of them or something to give away when I do stream it. So people can, while they're listening to cool music, they can also chill and, you know, get some goodies. Okay, it says there's one back here. There it is. For a second there, you couldn't actually see the dude. You can only see the sword. Hi. They must think I'm a Stout-axe slave of Sauron. So I imagine, I mean, think of this, where it said, then to Rune and Harad, Sauron roamed, gifting 6 of the 9 rings to kings and chieftains. We're going to be going to the lands of where the 9 came from. We're going to see. We're going to go where the Southrons came from. We're going to go to where, what is it, the Reaver of Can? And the Gloom of Nirn. Well, we don't know about Nirn yet, but I would assume we're gonna get to Nirn.
Digging in the debris is never a waste. Not for a scholar of history.
Okay.
Do you hear that?
Let's go find these people. I think I would be progressing through the LI reward track if I was doing quests that were on level or closer to level. But I really hate having a character who doesn't have, you know, the full completion.
You don't want to go this way, friend.
Oh, I'm fine.
There is something terrible about the wreckage of Sauron's tower.
Yeah, it's kind of cool back there, isn't it?
I spoke with Hrogrin at the Black Gate. He seemed like a nice enough sort.
Except something happened. Something may, from a Gothic standpoint, Moria is beautiful. True. We're currently touring Moria and exploring Lord of the Rings. I mean, even this is pretty cool. But you can compare the fact that Lugosh is clearly Gondorian and then built over a bit. But these two places look straight up, you know, bad guys. Now, they were built of black stone. They don't really have any Gondorian specific stuff going on here. I think we're going to be sent up here at some point, or maybe it's just a side quest I'm remembering. Yeah, Ered Lithui, the Ash Mountains. Hi guys. We got Kargul going on up here, all kinds of bad guys.
The bane of Rune, the woe of Khand, and the cursed rider did the Easterling chieftains become. Their rings are Sakla, the cruel one, Adash, the foe-maker, and Urom, the warmonger.
So their rings have actual names on them. The Bane of Rune, the Woe of Khand, and the Cursed Rider. So those were all So Rune, I mean, Rune was always considered Easterling, but apparently they're also considering Khand Easterling. But, so where did the Cursed Rider come from? Doesn't have like an area name. I'm actually looking for the for something specific here. Since I'm here, there's a. I mean, look at this. This is pretty badass. I think there's a rare Mordor chest somewhere around here. Maybe behind this pedestal. Hey, let me. Ah! Can't get around the Watcher. Jerk. Maybe it's up here. So I find it interesting that the game gave names to the actual rings and the ring wraiths, because of course in the lore I think a couple of them did have a names, but they were not in the primary text that Standing Stone could use. So Standing Stone did its own making shit up that in a way that's like, okay, well, this still feels okay. It still feels Tolkienian, just not Tolkienian for realsies.
The grim Southron, the High Sorcerer of Harad, and the Forsaken Reaver were the Southrons named. Their rings are Juru, the Herald of Morning, Mebat, the Mirth-Eater, and Kanto, the Pain-Giver.
So, Harad is considered both south and east. That's fascinating. That is definitely fascinating. Alright, I'm getting out of here. So, that's 6 of the 9. So we should be seeing information on the other 3. But the other 3 weren't given to Easterlings or Southrons, from my understanding. And this is definitely not a place you want to go when you're trying to be on level, for sure.
And the Númenórean kings became the Black Blade of Lebanon, and the Gloom of Nurn, wielding Sapthal, the Fool Stone, and Nitir, Terror's Sting.
So what about the Witch King of Angmar? So, Númenórean kings, hold up. Which Númenórean kings does the game think became ring wraiths? Up there, we know it's up there. What are they worshipping? They're worshipping something bright. Something beyond their comprehension. But if you do these side quests, this is one of the cases where the side quests in a zone are actually really good. Because we find that something we thought was lost to us was not lost.
Stay back! I'll kill you!
Hi.
What am I doing here?
What were you you did a stupid, that's what happened. Alright. Gonna keep going. So what is at the top of that spear of rock? Why, nothing less than Igelos. Whoa, whoa, let's not fall into the lava. Let's not fall into the lava, shall we? No. And I thought that was a very fascinating story. Sadly, you can't fish in that pond over here anymore. You can only fish in it, during the original beta for Mordor. The first, like beta 1, they took it out in beta 2, which is very sad. But previously there was no debuff around the lava pools. You could stand next to them and take no damage. And you could fish in them. I have pictures from 2007. But they fixed it by beta 2, and I was very sad. And because they hadn't yet put in the art for the armor sets, my character would look like she's wearing her skivvies. By the way, I will point out the fact that I really love the fact that in Locho you pretty much are not gonna look like a sex worker. And there's nothing wrong with sex workers.
You saved from himself? I am so glad.
Oh my god, we're gonna go all the way back. All the way back. And I know there's some folks like you should be allowed to use the male dwarf bare chest thing on Stout-axes. I'm like, no. Why didn't Thranduil get a ring? Well, I have a theory. Now, bearing in mind, I'm not Corey. So I'm not as steeped in the lore as Corey is. But here's my thought. All 3 rings were held by the Noldor. Thranduil is not a Noldor. Thranduil is not Valquendi. He never saw the light of the trees in Valinor. He's never been to Valinor. In fact, as far as we know, he never went. He never left Middle Earth. The elves that were passing to the west were the Noldor, the ones who came from Valinor and their descendants. The elves that never went weren't part of the Great Migration back to Valinor. They weren't going back to Valinor. They didn't really have any context for Valinor beyond what the other elves would tell them. They neither had love for the place nor missed it, like all of our Valinorian friends did. And I'm gonna cut the corner. So, with no disrespect intended to Thranduil, Thranduil was a much lesser king. And at the time where the rings had their greatest moment in time, like in the Last Alliance, whatnot, he wasn't even king at that time. He was still prince. His dad was still alive, though his dad was killed in the Battle of the Last Alliance shenanigans. I mean, he's called the Elven King. You know what? I should use the Stable Master to cut through Udun. I mean, to Bilbo, the only elves he would really have a comparison with is Elrond and Thranduil, as, you know, Elrond as simply the Lord of Rivendell. Getting my hair caught in my thing. Elrond the half-elven was more kingly and noble than Thranduil of Mirkwood. Though, you can also flip that on the thing on the side about the fact that Legolas went to Valinor. But I think Legolas is the only one of his people that did. That we know of. But then again, to be fair, we only know the names of like 3 of their people. They're, you know, Thranduil's dad, Orifer, Thranduil, and Legolas. Like, I think there's like, what is his face? The butler? Well, we had the butler, and then we had like the captain of the guard dude. Was his name Gallian or something like that? But basically, Thranduil and his people were not really fleshed out very much. But I think it's an oversimplification to say the elves all moved to the west. It's like, yeah, some of them did. Oh, Yadafel. Oh, do I have the fish slap on this character? I don't think I do.
Something has happened. A messenger has come. He wishes to speak to the King of Gondor. I do not think that is wise.
Yeah, you're not gonna get to talk to the king until you talk to me first. I remember normally when I do this.
A message from Dulgabeth, the Black Word of Mordor and heir of Sauron.
Yeah, normally when I do this on a character that has the fish slapping mode, I fish slap the shit out of that guy.
I do not trust this emissary or Dulgabeth, his master.
Yeah. It's one thing about Peter Jackson's movie that is like, Aragorn would not have done that.
You speak with the king's voice?
I am the voice of the king.
You then, I will bring.
Remain on your guard, my friend. You speak with my voice, and should be free of harm.
We're in
This
Barad-dûr,
embassy
oh my
will
god.
not be without danger.
Hi, buddies. He's walking like Sarah Oakheart, for God's sakes. They kind of also, their outfits kind of look like a fancy up version of the High Sorcerer of Herod. Yeah, I'm kind of short, aren't I? And looking at his mouth, he's not quite the big mouth that Peter Jackson gave him, but that's good because Locho is not allowed to do anything with Peter Jackson's ship. So, I'm the mouth of Gondor. Sure, I'm a short one, but I'm good. Maybe I have fish slap. No, I don't have it. Or, are you sniffing? Are you trying to pretend you're a Nazgul? Oh, you're not powerful enough to handle your own shit there, buddy. I see how it goes. Well, the only ring Thranduil could have had would be the one that wound up in Gandalf's hands. Yeah, you don't have a kingdom yet, buddy. Yo, take me back.
What did the mouth of Sauron propose this time?
Get thee gone, Yennefer.
So the King of Gondor is not only a coward, he is a fool as well.
Look, buddy, your boss couldn't take Gondor. His lackey sure as hell can't.
Dulgabeth has given us a weapon to use against him.
Gave us information.
I believe you learned 2 useful pieces of information from Dulgabeth.
Yeah. Where are we going? Are you gonna walk? Wait, which level are you? You're 112, so you don't have to walk. You're just gonna run though? Come on, come on! If you're gonna walk, walk. Do the proper thing. This game has so much good content in it. Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing well, doing good. Atli and Harthallen. Atli, long time. When we saw Atli here in Mordor, I was like, again, this is something the game does over and over and over again, is they take characters from ancient or previous content and put them into later things, so the story keeps going on. That's one thing I certainly love
I
about
saw
this.
Yardafal ride away, muttering curses to himself. Amusing.
Alright.
I leave the choice of path to you, my friend.
We're gonna go to Lingris. We're gonna go do Atli's.
I understand you have business in Lingris. I do as well.
We do not know very much about the Gorjul.
So, the voice actress who does Harthallen also does a lot of voices for DDO. Her name is Cindy Robinson. And she also does the kobolds in the game. So whenever you hear the kobolds, you know, going on about their shinies, or the kobold sentient gem saying, "Kobolds still hate you," that's her. Alright, let's go to Lingris. We'll do the Valley of the Webs first. King Aylmer. It should be Aylmer King, damn it. Standing Stone, fix that. That drives me bananas. Hi, let's go to Ring. And for me, it's always really fascinating comparing the ruins of Dingarth with the Dingarth that we quest in Minas Morgul. I always thought that was very fascinating. Like we go here, and it's also fascinating that you can't get. Okay, you can. So let's take a quick look at this map and see where things are, where the roads are, where the mountain is all beat up. Lugosh. And there used to be something here. And of course, there's definitely somebody shooting off fireworks. But I always love comparing these two maps. So this eventually becomes Fushambal. This just basically gets wiped off the map. This doesn't exist at all. And Amon Fuan becomes Lugash. Like, this gets wiped off the map. This is actually, there's some ruins here. But those were ruined in the time of the Second Age. But Akkad and Idhil is just completely gone. I find it fascinating that you can't actually get back to the regular Mordor map from here. So yeah, this is gone. This is turned into Lugash. Amon Fuan gets turned into Lugash. And yeah, there where Adam Bell was, so Fushan Tomb, I should say, not Fushan Bal. But this is where Akkad and Idhil was. There's nothing there now. Still wish we could go to the Sameth Nar. That would be so cool. They kept promising that we would be able to do that at some point, but that never happened. Alright, let's go talk to our buddy Atli. Because Atli, of course, is in the Archet starting instance. One of the very first dwarves you ever meet as a human or a hobbit.
Thus were the Nazgul, the great Lord Sauron's most powerful servants, made. Each in his own keep in Mordor they dwelled, and in Minas Morgul they gathered, a fell and terrible host.
That's not creepy or anything. Yeah.
Ah, do you smell that? That is the reek of spider you smell.
No shit, Sherlock. Where are you? Get the big spooter. One of the interesting things that Blizzard has done is they've made it an arachnophobia mode for their upcoming expansion, so that all spiders in the game, like most spiders, not every single one, are displayed to the player's client as crabs. Now, I don't have arachnophobia. I know some people who do. And I understand there's people who are like, really? Crabs? Okay. But, you know, it is what it is. Alright. We're going to Kirathongo. We're going to Kirathongo. I forget how many chapters there were in, I think there's only 5 chapters in Mordor. One for each his own. Yeah. So there'd be one for Udun, one for Dora Marth. We're doing stuff in Linger, so that's chapter 3, and then well, the rest of chapter 3 would be Talath Urui. I mean, this map looks so cool. Alright. I think we have to go this way. It's been a while since I've actually played through the Mordor content, so I'm not as up to where everything is as I should be. It's funny to see crabs in Elwyn Forest, right? I don't currently have the War Within, though I'm actually curious to see what happens with something. I don't want to talk about it in great detail, but I think the Blizzard Gear Store might be making a mistake in the near future. We shall see if they actually follow through and continue the mistake or not. I don't know. I don't know. Look at all these spooters. Look at all these spiders. And it is a very long walk down the run down the Morgai. Bearing in mind that Frodo and Sam did this walk. And there's so much that that Standing Stone was able to do with this story to fill in the gaps around what happened to Frodo and Sam, being able to do the playback, you know, the session plays of what happened to Frodo and Sam. It's been really, really good. And that's one thing I really love about this game is they've had the ability, because it's an MMO, to really dig into the story and not only fill in the gaps of like, oh, what did Tolkien not say in these parts? Or, you know, the stuff that Tolkien might have just mentioned in passing, and, you know, Standing Stone has the opportunity to go in and actually make a whole ass quest line out of it. So that's always good.
There your tower lies.
Gondorian, but taken over by the baddies. Alright, if I recall correctly, it's always this one. The one that's facing up. The other ones are all facing down, if you kind of notice, so.
If I had not suffered this wound, you would be dead.
Well, sure. Sure, I would be. Hi, Legolas.
Seems like the orcs and the spiders had an arrangement, but something's happened.
They're not getting on.
If you want to explore the tower, now might be the best time.
Let's go explore the tower. That is definitely a flying buttress. Can I ride in here? Apparently I can. So, yesterday, or no, on Thursday. No, it was actually Thursday. Basically what happened was when Standing Stone began the sale on Friday. No, it was Thursday. It was on the 4th of... Excuse me, I'm on this page.
To the Alashi of Mordor, she was Torgralisha. To the orcs, she was once Takborlod. But now she is known to most by another name, Shelob.
Dun dun dun. It's definitely one thing the game has had the opportunity to do that nobody else has had so far. And since I'm not on the official Lojo channel, I can talk shit about the Amazon game now because it's kind of rude to do so on somebody else's channel. I'm just saying. But I have qualms about the Amazon game. And it's not because of my loyalty to Lotro. It's the flippant nature of the person who did the most recent, and by recent, as of like a year or so ago, interview about the game. You know, like the announcement, oh my god, Amazon's doing a Lord of the Rings MMO. And we're all like, are they actually going to manage to launch it? We don't know. Amazon Game Studio does not have a great track record. I think, don't they only have like one actual game out that's still going, and that's New World? I could be wrong. But even with that track record, and knowing that they're not going to make the game linked to the TV series, which will confuse a lot of people. I think people will be expecting the game to lean into the TV series a lot, even if they are two separate sets of rights. One thing that Lotro has going for it is something that the Amazon game will need time to build, which is a community who is faithful to it. Oh man, I don't want to go up to the ladder. Come on, let's go up the ladder. I think a different quest actually takes you up here. We're going anyway because why not? And I know there's actually, I know of a couple of people who actually were or are on the Amazon Lotro dev team. Hi, what are you doing? Chilling? Alright. So this is where Frodo was kept. There's the trapdoor. There's the ladder that Frodo pulled up. And here's like the pile of dirty rags that he slept on while he was naked. He's a bad guy. you didn't know, that guy's a bad guy. So Sam would have charged up these stairs. Ran across this bridge. I'll have you! But the thing that concerned me the most is Amazon's gonna have more money to make a flashier game, no question. And I presume they have a bigger dev team, though I have heard rumors that their dev team is not that big. Somebody made a wisecrack about them only having 4 people on their dev team. I doubt that number greatly. But the one thing that's like immediately, I wouldn't say put me in a defensive mode. I mean, the fact that they have a lot more money than Standing Stone has available or is willing to spend on the game. Or rather, the amount of money that Standing Stone will be given to spend on the game from... Didn't I read this message? I thought I read this message. Yeah. Is when the head creative person was yammering on about the game, not only did he take a pot shot at Lotro, he says, yeah, we figure all these people from Lotro are going to come over. I think everybody in Lotro's, most people from Lotro will take a look at it. And there may be some who will just continue to play it and will abandon Lotro. And that's the nature of things. And I wouldn't be mad at somebody who jumped ship. They may not be longtime Lotro players, or they may just maybe won't be able to, like, the flash of the tech that Amazon has access to and the fact that it's going to be a more modern game is going to appeal to people. There's not going to be a question of that. But the one thing that Amazon will need to do is to give the game a heart. And to make it a proper Lord of the Rings MMO is way more about telling the story than it is about making the place, right? Like, you can make a Rivendell that looks gorgeous, looks like a Ted Naismith painting. But if the Elrond in that game doesn't act like the Elrond in the books, or they decide to have, you know, sexy cosmetics, or they decide, they've already said, the dude even said in that interview that they're going to be playing a bit free and loose with the canon, with the lore that they have access to. And they don't have any different access to canon or lore than Standing Stone does. Everybody who gets rights from Middle-earth Enterprises, which is owned by Embracer, so fuck Embracer, all operate from the same rights. Even the TV series pretty much does the same thing. But they have a little bit of extra dispensation to go ask for things, like they have access to the use. They have special dispensation to use the name Anatar. You had a friend who Amazon hired as a writer for the Lord of the Rings game, and he's a fantastic horror writer. Super excited, but then they suddenly just dropped him for no real reason besides, thanks, peace out. So yeah, they're just jerks in your book. The gaming industry has been fucked up for a long time, but the past couple of years really hit home just how fucked up it is. It's all about the money and the shareholders getting their money. And so many people have gotten laid off from the gaming industry in the past couple of years. Like, it was something close to 10,000 people got laid off throughout the entirety of 2023 in the gaming industry. And everybody thought, holy shit, that's horrible. And then they already hit that mark almost by the end of January. What the actual fuck? It's going to take a good couple of years for the game industry to recover. My honest theory, without knowing any more information about the Amazon project, is if they don't try to get the lore fans on board, the game will literally be like a movie based on a property that has no real ties to that property. Most of the people that I know who play Lotro because it cleaves to the books. Like, it's telling the story of the books, and then the stuff that's not explicitly in the book, or is hinted at by the books, makes fucking sense. It feels the same. It feels Tolkienian. And that's like the heart of this game, is the fact that Chris Pearson and Maid of Lions, I love them to bits and bits and bits. I gently call Maid of Lions that magnificent bastard, and I do so with deep affection because they tell these amazing stories that feel like they came from the books. And if they don't plan out their game to have that same kernel of, we're going to tell the story of the books as close as we possibly can adapt them, and then fill in the blanks with stuff that feels the right way, they're just going to be a high fantasy MMO that just happens to have has some familiar names on it. It's not going to be Lord of the Rings.
What is this message you found?
Okay. So now we meet up with Harthalin. So unless Amazon gets its head out of its ass, and here's the thing, I like the Rings of Power. I don't think the Rings of Power is quote-unquote bad. I understand Rings of Power has a very delicate wire to walk. I'm looking down at the ground like this when I'm riding down because it's one of the ways that you can avoid falling on your keister. Okay, so we are here. We need to go back up and around and over the bridge. Hold up, back over here. Back up here. I missed a corner. Is that they don't capture the soul of Lord of the Rings. Will the game be a success? Maybe, probably. If Amazon keeps it open. That's also another issue. Amazon is almost as notorious as Daybreak for shutting games down. Though ironically, Daybreak just picked up, they just acquired Singularity 6, so Daybreak is going to be publishing Palia. I don't know when the deal is going to take effect. I should have looked into that a little bit more. But yeah, Palia is coming to Daybreak. I thought that was fascinating. But one of the things is we pretty much assume that...
Centuries later, when at last Lord Sauron came to Mordor, he knew at once that something terrible and powerful lurked in the mountains of shadow.
Yep. We pretty much know that, or can pretty much assume that Amazon's MMO is probably going to have the same sort of model that New World has. I imagine it's going to be riddled with microtransactions, and I'm playing a game that is riddled with microtransactions. So I don't object to microtransactions as a thing. Unlike, you know, generative AI, which I object to fundamentally because it's thievery and it's ruining the environment and shit. But that's another rant for another day. But I don't perceive... Okay, we gotta go this way. I don't expect much out of the Amazon MMO. It's going to be successful. If they can manage to launch it, it will be successful because it will be a more modern game. People will unfavorably compare it to Lotro. Because, oh my god, Lotro doesn't have this, Lotro doesn't have that. And this game is going to launch with many more modern features that Lotro just doesn't have. And can't make because... I hate to tell you kids, but the Lotro dev team is very pretty small, and I can't tell you the size. The analogy I like to make is that Lotro is being made... Lotro is like a Walmart that's being run by the mom and pop staff of a bodega. Right? That's pretty much how it is. And yes, technically they could spend some money, and by this I mean EG7
The
slash
Mountain
Daybreak.
of Fire has changed since last I was here.
Yeah, 3,000 years ago! Because she was here before it went kersplody. Alright. That's the thing, if you beat up dudes in this area, you lose rep with the other area. Hi. Notice how they all like to ride white horses? I never actually went through on my main to go clear this area out. I need 2 more. I can still hear fireworks outside. I found some orders if you want to read them. I don't really care about because I've played these quests a few times. But I never actually went through and did these quests properly. I was considering running my main through the picking up the catch-up completionist. Last I remember, she was going back to do stuff in Cardolan and Swanfleet, which means no LI reward experience for those quests. So I don't want to do those quests right now. I might just run them off stream, but I want to wait.
What did you find?
Until I complete. Okay, we want to go. What is up there? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna run up to the stable master first, and then we'll ride to Nargroth. This way, I have the Magash 2 thing ready to go. Yeah, they are shooting off some serious fireworks to the south of me. I don't really come up to this area too much, honestly. It's 11:21. They really need to stop playing with the fucking fireworks. Aha, here we go. Oh, gosh.
We are Gondor's eyes and Gondor's swords in this place.
There we go. So now that anytime I want to use a far-reaching stable master, I can come straight to Magash 2 without having to go home and then using the Mordor. Now we're gonna ride all the freaking way over there. We got a ways to go. Anything else you want to chat about? Anything else you think I should rant about? Because I got plenty of rants in me. Well, I am almost running out of water. We got a half hour to go. This ride might take that long. So again, next week I'll be on my DDO stream Thursday afternoon. I'm still thinking about when I could change the time of that show. Part of the problem is DDO stream actually has streamers every evening. So I would either have to go after somebody else's show any given night of the week, or if I put it on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, my normal days off. Saturdays, why am I stopping? We have a ways to go. I have to think about it. I mean, Saturday afternoon seems to be well, Saturday afternoon has times on the DDO stream. But there's basically, there's potholes in the schedule that don't match up with my schedule. Ironically, it's easier for me to find a good time for a Lotro stream if I needed to reschedule my Lotro stream. I might just think about putting it Thursday evening. And maybe streaming here earlier Thursday afternoon. And then just raiding, maybe play DDO here Thursday afternoonish. And then raiding that group into the official DDO channel for the evening. After whoever, I think, Brighter Days Ahead is generally on after me. On Thursdays. The downside is Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays typically are nights that my friend Devilor is streaming. And in fact, he's streaming right now. He's doing a thing called Bruv Night. Which is basically where he and his friends play video games and drink. That's pretty much all that is. Alright, this is still the holy shit, we got a ways to go. That's a citadel, isn't it? That is a bit of a citadel. I don't think I ever really appreciated just how big that damn thing was. Because quite often when I'm running through here on level, everything's chasing me, so I don't stop and look. The mountain is erupting! Old Gondorian stuff, taken over by the bad guys. Whoa, hello. Oops. That was exciting. Where are we retreating to? Do I have to ride all the freaking way back? Probably. Where are we? Where are we? Oh! We're not actually... We're not... I think we got lucky. So what bridge did we just fall over? I think it was this... Was it this one? Yeah, because we just passed Narraband. Well, we got fortunate on this one, didn't we? Alright, let's get up onto the road. You know what I should do is go up into Agronite, grab that stable master. It is so freaking atmospheric. Though it's actually really fascinating how Agronite looks like a pool of lava. Just because of the way the lighting was working. Alright, let's go grab the stable master over yonder. And then we'll ride back to where we actually are supposed to be going. We're gonna go meet a friend who will eventually be somebody we meet a long time in the past. Which I thought was... That was actually a really fun story. Well, okay. The part where we got to meet this character in Mordor Besieged was interesting, but the actual part of the story was not good. Because, of course, bad things happen.
These are names, O sisters, of lands where Lyrith's great plague laid waste. Rovanion and Gondor, the remnants of Arnor, the northern kingdoms of Cardolan and Arthedain.
You can tell that's Cindy Robinson, aka Harthallan. And what's really funny, she uses a very similar voice for a spectral dragon that you kick in a certain quest in their DDO's Night Rebels expansion. Or not expansion, but festival. 2 pages? Hell yeah.
In the south, the Great Plague raged across Ithilien and Anorian both. And by the time all was done, had claimed the lives of paupers, knights, bread bakers, and kings.
Just bread bakers.
In the northern lands, between the Plague and the Witch King, toppled were kingdoms of men, their vestiges scattered and fled.
I would not ever expect Amazon's MMO to tell that story. Or to tell a story that nuanced. I don't expect Amazon's MMO to be that nuanced at all. Okay, we need to find the road that leads into Nargroth. This road down here. Alright, we need to actually go to the other side. There we go. Hi, Harthallan.
This is the road to Nargroth, but I have found something else that may be of use.
There's a watching stone. And then that's where we're gonna go talk to our friend. But first of all, what I want to do... Oh, hey, I get to fight things? I was looking for that rare Mordor chest here. Hey, everybody, come here. Come on, all y'all. Get your asses over here. Give me the cinch page.
And strangest of all, we still serve the Eye. Or at least that's what our new master says.
Oh my god!
All commands come down from him to Uradani. Nah! Orders are orders. That's what I've always said.
This is a voice actor who's also done a lot of work on DDO, particularly in the Vecna expansion. He's done some DM work for the Vecna expansion and also a quest pack that led into the Vecna expansion. Actually, it was the voice... That was the voice of Vecna, wasn't it? I think so. What'd I get? What'd I get? Crafting mats. And then I just got a random ass cloak. But it's bound to me, which is kind of sad. Looks cool, though. I have a better version of it. Okay, I don't want to talk to Harthalon. I actually want to go to the other thing. I want to go talk to Zaharag. I'm burning! I'm burning! Those look cool, the Karog. Talk to the spirit in the stone? Why, sure. I think they actually said that they fixed a bunch of things with the quest in this actual quest in Narraband to help you find what you're looking for. Using the information in your quest journal, that's new. Alright. Let's go to Narraband, shall we? Let's go this way to get out of here. Normally I go like all the way up and around this way, but I might as well just go this way. Fumerals. Alright. Narraband is all the way back there. Let's see if I can fall through on that bridge again. While we head toward the end of the stream, where I'm gonna call... I did start late tonight. But that's because I was watching my friend Devilor. I have to go back and watch more of his stream because he was role-playing. So Devilor took a couple of year break from playing GTA 5 role-playing. And he kind of burned out like really bad. But the past couple of nights he found a new server where a bunch of his friends are playing and decided to jump back in, and it's been very exciting and very interesting, and I started streaming and I missed the past 2.5, almost 3 hours. I think he's already switched over to Brove Night with his buddies, so I will only have to go back and watch the bits before Brove Night started. Okay, that's not Narraband. Let's keep going. Let's go find that bridge that I pelted across before and see if I fall in again. What was that back there? Oh, there's a singed page. I might as well grab it. I do like the Rogmole. Those look pretty cool.
Here's what you get for poking your nose where it shouldn't go. That Uradani woman had some slaves digging into the floor of the ruined chamber. And next thing you know, there was flames everywhere.
It's definitely easier doing this quest when it's a gray quest to you, for sure. Good night, Apu. Boxing match is about to start. Whoa, hey, have fun with that. I'm not gonna be streaming much longer anyway, because I do want to go get ice cream and turn this light off. This light in my face. The one thing we haven't had is I haven't had Mama Cat come visit today.
Me and my boys are taking orders from that Uradani stone maiden. You can smell the stink of arrogance on all these black Numenorian types. She's got us off in Talath Uri, digging an underground fortress out of the Mithram.
Oh, I know why that one camp was full of dudes that were trying to kill me. It's because that was one of the random, or one of the not so random level 115 camps, and my character's only 123, so those dudes are still green to me. But these guys are 113, so I'm more than 20 levels above them. I am 20 levels above them. No, I'm 10 levels above them, so they're gray to me.
So imagine my surprise when at last I thought I'd found my way out of all the flames and debris, and there Urodani was.
Alright, let's go look in our quest journal. The spirit in the stone showed you when the cell, if you understood its wish correctly, it's promised to tell you about the Gruzo if you return with the skull. I was the 3 left chairman, can I buy Holly's? Skull is on the floor of a cell in the southwestern corner of the largest northernmost chamber. The iron door of the cell was half open. You saw flame spirits floating over the fog-covered floor. So, southwest corner of the largest northernmost chamber. Of course, you can't see fuck all in here. Alright. Let's go find the most northern chamber in here. Oh, they're exploding shit outside. And flame spirits wandering around. I recall it was down in the basement as well. Okay, there's the flame spirits, and so we need the southwest corner with the door half open. And I see a glowy thing right there. Aha! Scorched. Now I just need to get out of here. Stop damaging me. I think I have to go. Wait a minute, I missed. There's another quest for the Nernhoff captives. Yeah, we just took the scenic route. That's fine. All right. I'm in the wrong place. If I recall correctly, the door was on the eastern side. So I need to go to the... Oh, right. I'm not even on the right floor still. Creepy shit. Okay, if I recall, it was this way. Wait a minute, is this the way I came in? Aha. There we go. Let me out! Let me out! And where are we on our reward track? Man. It's because of these quests are gray. I'm not getting a lot of my reward track XP, but as I get caught up to the current story, that'll change. But I do want to make sure I have the entire epic Black Book of Mordor completed. I'm being very good ignoring all those chests of of crafting mats. So we almost done for today. I'm thinking about trying to do streams a couple of nights after work through July, see how that works out, because right now my gaming buddy is busy for a while, so I don't have anything to do in the evenings, so I would always never stream after. But then again, I'm always like, man, I just spent 10 hours at work, so it's also a thing of like, well, am I too tired to stream? How long am I going to stream? Oh, I have to go to bed now. And there's some nights I just don't. And so I'm thinking if it can happen at all, it would be like Sunday and Monday. Adding those to the schedule simply because Tuesday is, exploring Lord of the Rings, so I don't want to stream at the same time as Corey. And Wednesday is Mythgard Academy, same thing. And Thursday nights, I'm already streaming here at some point. And then every other Thursday is film, again, keeping an eye on things that Corey is doing. Friday, there's supposed to be a show on Signum, but not always. And also, they don't actually expect me to be there, so. Okay, we're gonna take it carefully across this bridge. We're not gonna yeet ourselves into the water, into the lava this time. The next bridge coming up. That one right there. Oh wait, no. There isn't a bridge, is there? No. Yeah, we didn't... Where did we throw ourselves in the... We threw ourselves in the lava way back here. Oh, it was the bridge right before the turn in airband. Okay, never mind. Alright, let's go talk to what's-his-face. What's their face? I don't actually know what gender Zaharog is.
What did you see? What does Zagharog know that is of use to us? See.
This is a fun little quest.
Here. No.
Interesting that I'm able to still ride my war steed in here. And Uradani is still, not fiery. She's the woman of Numenor. I wonder why she's called Stone Maiden, though. I would have expected that name, honestly, to be a dwarven surname.
Orangos, Orangos, the horror. Urudani, no more. Sauron wonders why, and sends his Nazgul.
The Woe of Can, the High Sorcerer of Harad, the Bane of Rune, and the Witch King of Magmar. The High Sorcerer of Harad has the best outfit out of the Nazgul. It's one of the Gosh High. I'm just chilling with the Nazgul, you know. Got brushed aside by the Woe of Can. The fun thing is you can actually loot that corroded small chest during this instance. So of course Sauron isn't the most famous of all evils. Well, he is the most famous, but you know. The giver of gifts and rulers of all. But he is not the only evil in the world.
Sauron gained a new servant to replace the one he lost. But the Stone Maiden returned, changed.
Oh, Zaharog is definitely a dude. Okay, got it.
What did he show to you?
Alright, talk to Mithrandir Kira the Gorgor inside the Black Gate. So we got a long ride to do. So what we're going to do for this one is I am going to go to this is why I picked up the Stable Master down here. Oh, I mean, it's one of the reasons why you should pick up the Stable Master down here to make it way easier to get back here. But we'll go up to Gandalf, and I think we'll stop there once we get to where we need to go. And pick this character up there. So we are going to Udun. should still be. Oh, Mary King, damn it. We got a Gandalf here, a Gandalf there, a Gandalf everywhere.
Your adventures in Llingris and Talat Urwi raise further questions. Some vile work is being conducted in Argonath.
You have not sought my help in some time.
Okay, so Argonath is where we're going next, but we're gonna leave it here, and I will pick up this, maybe off stream, maybe on stream, I don't know yet. So next week I'll be on DDO stream on Thursday afternoon, here Thursday evening, and then Friday I'll be on Locher stream in the afternoon, but not streaming that evening. On Saturday next week, Weatherstock concert series right here, live from the hill on Landreval, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, be good. If you can't be good at it. And yeah, hopefully I see you in a future stream. Alright? Bye now.